the last time we were together, you mentioned how in the past, like if you didn't feel like doing something, you would just power through it,
Yeah,
and that's not an option as much right now.
not really. Like if you wake up and you're kind of tired, you're not feeling yourself, um, you still gotta do it, you know. Like this morning when I woke up and I was coming here. So that part's getting a little better where I can power through and do what I need to do. But um, I, yeah, I don't know.
Well, what do you think about music, Rick? I just wanted to be really open about like you don't have to do music in any capacity that you aren't ready for or don't feel good about. I think your relationship with music is really important, and I want to help preserve that. Um, so, like we were talking about, how there are neuromotor benefits, mental health benefits potentially, depending. Um, but I just want to be really clear that you are the driver of the music boat as far as like playing for yourself and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's kind of weird for me. I think because I am a perfectionist and I want it to sound good. So if I pick up the guitar and it's not up to par, then I'll either put it away or do something else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can't even imagine that it would be really frustrating and like.
Yeah, it is, and it's really frustrating that my left hand works good. It's my strumming hand that does it.
Yeah.
So that is really frustrating to me.
Mm-hmm.
I used to be able to pick up a guitar and play it 3 or 4 or 5 songs, but now it's everything to play one,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't even play it.
You could get drum hand.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I've been trying to teach her how to play guitar.
Yeah, a duo. Yeah, well, there are certainly things to explore, but that coordination is kind of an overall piece for you, I think.
It's the coordination and hold my pick is
Mm-hmm.
like I've got playing power, but there isn't um, the finesse behind it, that you need when you're playing the guitar. It's like when the girls were coming over and I'd say, play a little harder, it was on or off, you know. They have no finesse between the two. You have no finesse.
Did you ever play without a pick?
Yeah, I have a little bit before, and I've kind of been playing without a pick lately, but I don't know, just I like having the pick.
Yeah.
Makes it sound a little better.
For sure.
So we got this guitar. It's a little smaller,
Oh, okay.
and we're thinking that a smaller guitar I can get my arm over easier. Um, but like I said, it's I haven't been playing it a lot because I'm too hard on myself,
Yeah.
you know.
Do you feel like as you've been playing more, are you getting less hard on yourself, or do you feel like it's been about the same?
About the same.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're still in the beginning stages of everything, you know.
Yeah.
Sure.
So I keep hoping that I'll heal up and everything will kind of go back to where it was. My corn hand still plays all the chords. It's just my right one that doesn't want to strum.
Mm-hmm.
So that's tough for me.
Have you ever played an electric guitar?
No, I don't play an electric.
See those guys on the rock and rollers on the stage, they just give one strum.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. It's like you gotta earn it.
That's
Every
right.
chord
That's
change,
right.
every strum.
And I think having somebody else, like one of my buddies or something, playing with me
Mhm.
would really help
Mhm.
too. You know, because music is a very personal thing.
Right. Well, and we can practice some different strategies for that too, like how they could support. I mean, they can just play, but
Yeah.
like where can you fit in with them playing along? I do think you're right though. It would probably at least for a minute be kind of about changing those expectations. Like I'm not going to be crushing out
Exactly.
every strum.
Which is hard for me because I have high expectations, you know, of music. But just the changing of the expectations is hard for me.
Yeah, and absolutely.
I think it's like, I like to think about, right, because you're, playing with your band, how you were, everything, that's kind of like that long-term goal. And then so let's break that down into smaller steps so we can move toward that and make that easier and less kind of overwhelming of just going from like, A to Z, like let's go from A to B and then B to C and kind of move along that way.
Yeah. What?
I forgot to bring that score scale or whatever that she had.
Yeah, she kind of talked about that too. But, and then my voice isn't, as you can tell, it's very slow and I think it'll heal up, and I'll be back to normal, but it's that time. And then when you're sitting on the couch and you don't have a lot going on while you're down here, you think, well, I'll pick up the guitar, but it doesn't work like that.
Yeah, I get that. You take your guitar invitation, you're like, I'm going to play so much, and then you don't play at all. Well, do you want to start with guitar? Do you want to not touch the guitar right now? You want to do some moving and?
I don't care. We can play a little bit.
Yeah, why don't we just see? I'd love to just see where you're at, what it looks like, what it feels like. What if I do a couple things? Does that change anything or not? No expectations.
Okay.
We can also try, I thought maybe we could add some E-stem if that kind of helps with the feeling in your strumming hand and kind of where your joints are in space. So I brought my bag of tricks. I brought my E-stem.
see it, my hand feels real tired
Uh-huh.
right now when I hold the pick.
I was
So,
wondering, yeah, if that's what happened if your fingers
Yeah.
got tired.
Well, it just feels like it, you know.
Like you want to drop it or something.
No. I have plenty of power to hold the pick.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's just real hard, you know,
Yeah.
to play guitar.
Were in any of what you were just doing, were you trying to hit individual strings in any capacity?
No,
Just
it
going
just
straight strums.
does it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I wondered, let's try strumming together a little bit. Let's
Okay.
pick one chord. D. Just get nice. Yeah. I kind of like that. What do you think? Is that the same as what you've been doing?
That's what I usually do.
That's about where you're at?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot more refined, but I don't want to learn one way and have that be, you know, I want to pick.
You want to pick?
Yeah. And that's the hard part for me. You don't want to learn the wrong way and then be stuck on playing with just your hand.
Yeah.
What size ring do you wear? Like, do you have no idea? Okay. I know
This size?
Yeah. They make some like adaptive picks that like, I mean, you could even like glue like super glue a ring, like even like a, you know, like a cheapy silicone one, and then that way it's like a little less effortful to hang on to it, or Velcro, like you mentioned.
I was thinking if they have like finger picks.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, that might be one way to do it right now. Because I do use my index finger a lot.
Man, I should have brought my banjo picks.
Yeah.
I'll do that next time. Did you take it? Do I have it? I don't think I have any here. I have a giant pick. don't know if that'll change it or not. I don't know if that's the answer. But,
yeah, it's a hard trip, playing, knowing that you know how to play guitar, and then having something like this happen, and it's all gone, pretty much.
Let's try playing together just a little more, and then maybe we can shift to like doing other related motor things that contribute to. Let's just do C for a bit. I'll tell you when to change. G. Yeah. Back to C. Back to C. Winding low, I'm so lost. G. Back to C. Yeah. How does it feel playing along with me?
That's good.
Do you want to do it one more time?
Yeah.
Can you hear that lonesome whippoorwill? She sounds too blue to cry. You should stop in there. F. The midnight train is winding low. I'm so lonesome. G. Yeah. Now, Rick, let's try, something's out of tune on my guitar. That's no good.
This is probably always up to.
I've been playing like rock and roll. I've been doing like power chords. Let's try strumming just on the downbeat. So like just once a measure. Like, can you hear that lonesome whippoorwill? She sounds too blue to cry. 7. F. The midnight train is winding low. I'm so lonesome I could cry. Yeah. Now let's try more strums this time just to see. Actually, I'm gonna put the try a metronome, adding a metronome too, just to see what happens. How do do you feel about the speed?
I might be a little slow, but try it.
Keeps me on track too. Just come back in whenever. You play a little on your own for a minute. Cool. Hey Rick, that's not too bad.
Well, it's not good.
It's not, but it's not good. You could hold some steady tempo there for a while.
Yeah, that's what I feel like I was noticing. As you, like, if you would get, like, if you were trying to pay attention to something else and still strumming, like, that sort of, like, like the, sort of the motor learning of, like, the muscle memory where you can, like, kind of multitask. It seemed like maybe that was kind of difficult with switching between, like, paying attention to what your left hand was doing, trying to keep the beat, trying to strum, like, just coordinating all of that.
Yeah, and I'm not so sure adding the metronome was helpful because it was another thing you had to think about.
Yeah.
For something to work for right now, maybe at least where it's a little, it feels a little less automatic for you compared to your normal. I'm going to try, since you're like a little more warmed up now. Let's try this one. So that your thumb slides into this one first. Yeah. This is kind of small, and then you're into this. This won't help you play guitar necessarily, but it'll probably make it harder. Sorry. Didn't get it lined up there. And then, sorry, didn't get you lined up.
So,
And spread those out as far as you can, kind of like a spider web. I was just playing with it, though, probably driving me.
yeah.
Yeah, kind of like it's spreading as far as you can, yeah. And like you're Spider-Man trying to cast.
Yeah, let's take a break from the guitar for a minute. What do you think?
Yeah, it's fine.
Thank you for showing me where you're at with that.
How does your hand feel, like endurance-wise or like tiredness-wise?
It's not tired, it's just the wires are crossed, hard to it.
Okay, and then I'll give you this. So if you wanna. Okay, so I'm gonna pull that off. We'll just do some just kind of like deep pressure kind of warm up. So if you wanna like take out some frustration on your grip strength here. Just give that some nice deep squeezes. I can adjust the weight if you need to. Good.
Would you mind filling out one for yourself too?
How does that
I don't
feel?
wanna be on
You don't want to
it. He's the pretty one.
What? What?
You're the pretty one. I don't wanna be on the camera.
Good to go. And then I'll give you this. So this one, this is this is a harder resistance.
Okay.
So for this one, you can isolate your fingers. And so even if they don't all stay on there, I'll have you go through one at a time and press, starting with your index finger. Press, press, press. Good, yeah. And it's gonna help, yeah, isolating middle finger as much as you can. That'll help with strumming too, kind of isolating for that
Yeah.
precision and coordination.
Oh, it's hard.
Yeah, it's a very hard resistance. But you're isolating really well. Good. Yeah, ring finger and small finger are the hardest.
Yeah, ring fingers really hard.
Mm-hmm. Nice, nice. Beautiful. I'll steal that from you. How does that feel? We can even do, if you wanna, do some, just some like, without like getting on the floor and stuff. We'll just do like a little, oh no, was I in the way?
No, it's fine. You can move it. You can move it.
Do a little bit of like some like full arm deep pressure movement. So I'll have you kind of like,
Let's do it to. We'll do it to a tune. Shining in the sunlight, rolling
good song.
Oh, I'm glad you liked it. Is that Merle? Yeah. I haven't seen you do this before, so I don't know if there's a difference or not, but that coordination could contribute to like having
No,
to
I
do the two
think
things at once.
Any coordination would be good. My right side is a lot weaker, you know.
Try to work on too, this time instead of focusing as much on the rhythm, try to focus on the grip of the drumstick with your right hand. Kind of thinking about a pick idea though, like, yeah, so try not to let it bounce off of the drum.
Just squeeze it tighter to do it, or
What?
I just didn't know if you have to squeeze it tighter so it doesn't vibrate when it hits, or if it's.
Try your, do it with your left hand again real quick, let me see. Just kind of a bouncy drum.
Put the cover back on if you want. Try that.
I'm trying to see if it's actually a grip thing or not. It might not actually be a grip thing.
Under like the whole arm you're moving, like it's a whole arm movement.
I'm not a drummer.
Might be after this.
Yeah, you might end up really liking it. Be careful.
Here's the seconds. That's how it is.
Some people say a man is made out of mud. Poor man
yeah, I was curious if you're getting tired or. When you're playing guitar, do you typically like tap your foot with the beat?
Yeah, usually.
Well, maybe we should put you on the drum
No,
kit.
I can play them before.
Then you can need a kick.
I'm gonna try it.
Yeah, come on over. Yeah, that sounded really good, right?
Try it again with, I'll try on that left hand.
Okay. Start us off with that kick again. That was a good tempo. Stay out at the dusty your left hand
During
in
the
time.
song.
Yeah, it sounded great.
I can't walk, but I can play a drum.
Watch out. How's that feel on your arm? Is that changing anything?
I don't know if it's changed anything, but I want to scratch it.
It's tickling.
Look at you.
That was like 20 seconds. You got all three of those coordinated and put them together. That was awesome.
And that was significantly faster than when we started.